We're going to be going through Republicans' best case scenario prediction for the 2026 U.S. Senate elections. We'll get started with the first state. We'll start with the likely red. For that, actually, I think I'm going to start with safe red. There may be one in that category, and Republicans' best chance. That's going to be the state of South Carolina. Most likely for the actual prediction will end up in likely, but for now, I'll put it in safe for Republicans' best case scenario. Now we'll move on to likely. Starting out with Florida, I'm going to put that into the Republican Party's column. The state, for the last couple elections at least, has been a fairly reliable state for the Republican Party. Even once reliably blue Democratic counties like Miami-Dade have now become more competitive. I wouldn't say Republican stronghold, but have voted for Republicans in the recent past. So I think Florida will end up being in the likely red margin. Then we're going to head up to Montana. I'm going to put that into the same category there. Montana generally votes red. The state did have a Democratic senator about 2 years ago. Jon Tester ultimately ended up losing his re-election bid. Now the state has a full Republican delegation. So that's going to be the call there in Montana. Then we're going to get to a state that generally I have in a much closer range, but for that we're going to go with the state of Iowa. This one I think most likely would be in the lean category, but for now, for Republicans' best case scenario, we'll put it in the likely category. That brings Republicans up to 47 seats. And then there will probably be one more. For now, we'll go with likely for the state of Nebraska as well. This state is generally in the safe red column. The only reason it's competitive is because an independent is running, and he's largely earned the support. There isn't a Democrat in this race. He's largely earned the support of the Democratic Party and is really hoping to win the support of independents and moderate Republicans. But I think in a Republican's best case scenario prediction, this state would go likely red. And then we get to Texas. Texas, I think it really could end up likely. I'm on the fence if it'd be lean or likely, but I think in Republicans' best case scenario, it would probably end up being in the lean. And there are going to be some states that are going to move. I don't think there will be any in the likely Democratic territory. There will be two in the lean. These two states, Minnesota and New Hampshire, are most likely going to vote blue. In my normal prediction, I have Minnesota in the likely blue column with New Hampshire in the lean blue. So these potentially could narrow up and may even get to tilt. For now, we'll keep them at lean. But that's going to be the call there. And then we have really the main competitive swing states. I think in Republicans' best case scenario, they'd be able to win the state of Michigan. I think that state has the potential to be closer than Democrats want it to be. I think in the real prediction that they will win this, but for Republicans' best case scenario, that's going to be the call there. And then we're going to so that brings Republicans to 50 seats already. And then we're going to head down to the state of Alaska. This one, I think, will be a very close race, but in Republicans' best case scenario, I think it would end up going lean red. That's going to be the call there in Alaska. And then as far as Georgia and North Carolina goes, I'm on the fence about Georgia. I really think Georgia will go blue, and I'm not certain even if in Republican best case scenario it would go red. But for now, I think that is certainly a possibility that these two in Republican's best case scenario would end up voting red. And then as far as Ohio goes, going to put that into the lean red column, 54 seats for the Republicans. And then finally, we end with the state of Maine. This one I think will most likely go blue for the actual prediction, but in this hypothetical situation, I think it would end up being in the tilt red. So that's going to bring Republicans to 55 seats, to Democrats 45, definitely a blowout. This election has a favorable map for the Republican Party on the Senate level, so it will be interesting to see if Democrats have the potential to potentially secure an upset and win back control of the Senate. I generally have it as a 51-49 split in my real prediction. Feel free to check out that video at the end of this one. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.